Coming up on today's show, we are breaking down Dane Brugler's summer scouting rankings at running back for the 2026 NFL Draft. Dane mentioned his top 5. We'll go in-depth on those. And then he had a bunch of other names that we will get to as well on today's show. He had, in total, I think it was 37 players because it was 25 and 12. Yeah, 37 players in total he ranked there. We have not yet had Dane's quarterback list. If we want us to do a reaction video to that, because I really like the stuff that Dane does overall, show it by liking today's video, please and thank you. We'll go 1 to 5 here. I don't think any real surprise at number 1. Jeremiyah Love, the running back out of Notre Dame, who I think has a real chance to be a first-round pick. The estimated size for him, 6 foot 210. This is a gifted athlete. You can go watch that. You know, the long run against Virginia, the long run against Indiana, the hurdles he was doing, sometimes excessively. Dane is right when he says what Jeremiyah Love does best is instinctive athleticism. He wasn't on Feldman's freak list because he wasn't healthy and didn't have the fully testing measurements there. That's a concern there. But this is an explosive, big play machine. Look how good he was last year on the ground. 1,125 yards. There were 2 backs last year in college football who had at least 6.9, nice, yards per carry and 14 rushing touchdowns. This guy named Ashton Genty and Jeremiyah Love. This is, to me, the clear-cut number 1 back. The one note Dane had of be better was do more receiving stuff. All 28 catches that Jeremiyah Love had last year were like screens and swings and check down stuff. There was nothing actually downfield. So, get him more involved in that area. Like, I think you can, he's athletic enough to be dynamic as a slot option if the Fighting Irish will let him do that. So, will a running back go in round 1 this year? Y for yes, N for no. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. Number 2 is Nick Singleton, one of 2 very talented Penn State backs. And Notre Dame also has Jadarian Price, who's a damn good player too, by the way. Singleton ran for 1,000 yards last year with Penn State, part of that dynamic duo. This is a gifted size-speed combination. 6 foot and 3/8 inches, 218 pounds, and I bet he cracks 4.4 at the combine if and when he's able to run. The best trait, Dane's right. He is that height, weight, speed combination NFL teams adore at the running back position. And as a big play generator. The downside here, I think this is a good note from Dane too, the creativity. There's sometimes a knack of Singleton to just run straight, or I am going to hit the hole and that's it. Like, he doesn't always use those creative gifts the way I would like to see him use them. He's dynamic as all get out when he hits the hole and is able to get to the second level. That the speed he has of, sub 4.4, just under 220 is extremely, extremely rare and valuable. But I do wonder if he is dynamic enough to be more than I think he's going to thrive in his zone scheme where it's just hit the hole and go. Other schemes, maybe not so much, but he also offers pass catching value and can do return stuff. There is no doubt there is a role for Nick Singleton on every NFL team. It's a matter of how early does he go amid his development. How many backs go in round 1 this year? I think at least 1 in Jeremiyah Love, but that might be it. Let me know in the comments section of today's show. A transfer from Tulane, Mai Hughes to Oregon. Estimated sizes here, by the way, 6 foot 215. I don't think people realized how good he was last year. 1,401 yards, 15 touchdowns. He has really good contact balance. That's easier to have at Tulane than it is at Oregon. So that one you want to make sure it's still the case as this next year goes. But as a runner, there's so much to like with Makhi Hughes. His production speaks for itself. I think the athletic traits are really intriguing. He is the only he is actually the leading returning rusher, I should say, in college football from last season. Oregon has had a very good run scheme, I feel like, under both regimes, even dating back to Mario Cristobal. Given, the run game production, I like it. You can see in the stats, though, 30 catches the last 2 years with several drops and inconsistency as a pass protector. Needs to be better in that area. This NFL hoodie for your favorite team is on sale. The two-tone cutoff hoodie was $55. Now it's just $33. I know it's August and it's hot in a lot of places, but if you want to have something for your fall wardrobe that's not overly hot, go get this hoodie for your favorite team today. Link will be in the comment section and the description of today's show. Chatsports.com/NFL hoodie. Claiborne out of Wake Forest. Maybe not the most household name, but he did go for 1,000 yards last season. He's a senior, so verified measurements. 5'9.5", 192 pounds. If you like, I am not as high on Claiborne as Dane is, but this is very much Dane's back. Like he mentioned, like he wants creativity from Nick Singleton. Claiborne offers that. He'll jump cut around, man. He is very good at those cuts and kind of finding ways to generate extra yardage with creases and bounce it wide, bounce it inside as he needs to. Sometimes too much so. Sometimes it's the old double-edged sword. I think has been a bit hamstrung by the offensive line supporting cast with Wake Forest. Of note, by the way, Claiborne has great speed, which you have to be at 5'9". Wake Forest's last drafted back was over 35 years ago. 2 fullbacks in that time frame, though, were drafted. Claiborne will end that streak. If you want more NFL draft videos, hit that sub button. YouTube.com/chatsportstv for more NFL draft coverage. Bryson Washington of Baylor, maybe a surprise 4-5 for many of you watching. Estimated size of 6 foot, 205. Ran for 1,000 yards on only 175 carries. This is a well-built, athletic, north-south runner. Dane listing his best trait as his ability to kind of press, read the vision, hit the hole, and go for a Baylor offense that I think has high expectations of being ultra-productive this year. Averaged almost 6 yards a carry for the Baylor Bears offense. I think Dane is right. The pad level sometimes gets a little bit high, but I think if you lower that pad level, it's only going to amplify the power he can run with and kind of even amplify his best trait of being able to kind of sort through traffic and hit the hole and go. That's Dane's top 5. I think there absolutely are some players who you could discuss here from beyond that list. So who did Dane leave out of his top 5? Let me know in the comments section of today's show. So 12 underclassmen total Dane ranked. We mentioned Love, Hughes, and Washington. C.J. Baxter from Texas is 4, listed at 6'1", 230. Darius Taylor from Minnesota and Quatravion Wisner out of Texas. So both Texas backs. The guy who didn't play last year is actually ahead of Wisner. That's Baxter. I actually love that take. I think Baxter, this is why Jaden Blue went pro early. He was going to be RB3. These running backs are incredible. I am excited to see how they fare. I think both guys will get touches. They're both underclassmen. Maybe one goes pro, maybe one does not. I kind of dig Dane putting C.J. Baxter ahead of Wisner. It requires him to be healthy coming off the injury, but before he went, like the stuff we've seen from Baxter is really interesting. Like he could have a massive season if he gets a big enough workload. So who's better, QW or CB? Other underclassmen, some transfers here, by the way. Justice Haynes at Michigan, the former Bama product. I am curious to see how he fares in the Wolverines' run-heavy offense. Quentin Joyner coming over from USC at Texas Tech, the Portal Kings over there. Mark Fletcher at Miami. Jaheim White is really small. He's 5'7", 195. He's fun. Also small is Dylan Edwards, 5'9", 170. Super explosive, though. LJ Martin is the bigger back here, along with Mark Fletcher. They're both listed at 6'2", above 220 pounds. The top seniors, Chris, your boy, Jam Miller checks in at number 3. He'll be the lead back, we assume, for Alabama. Well-built, under 5'10", but 214 pounds. Le'Veon Moss had the off-field incident earlier. Rahsul Faison is really intriguing to me. I thought he was really good last year, transferred up to South Carolina, just under 5'7", 217. As of filming, has been working through some eligibility question marks, but I think he ends up getting cleared. I certainly hope he does, by the way. Jonah Coleman is, that I'm trying to think of the best comparison here. The short, stocky back, like kind of like Maurice Jones-Drew. I'm not saying that's the comp, but that's who he's built like. He's 5'8", 227. Short but thick, baby. That's the way some of you guys like him. Jaden Ott, under 5'11", 208, transferred from Cal. I might have put him in my top 5. I think that the big playability is going to be on full display for Ott after transferring from Cal. Katron Allen is like the opposite of Nick Singleton. Singleton is explosive as all get out, but like sometimes the vision is hit and miss. Allen will hit the hole. He just doesn't always have the juice. He's a bit slower there. CJ Campbell at Rutgers. Mel Brown, underrated player from UConn. Another big body. CJ Donaldson will split time with James Peoples at Ohio State this year. He's just over 6'1", 226. Logan Diggs, chance to be the lead back for Ole Miss. I love Jamal Haynes. He is so much fun. He's short. He's under 5'7". He's 5'6" and 5'8". 184 is the official verified measurement there. Terrion Stewart, formerly of Bowling Green, transferred to Virginia Tech. He could have a big year. Noah Whittington is the other Oregon back. Sub 5'8", but is 202. One of the smallest players in college football. Desmond Reed, built like Deuce Vaughn. 5'5" and 3/4, 169. But he's fun. He's productive. Some smaller school players. Aljay Henderson from Buffalo. Eli Hendricks out of Navy. There's the weird Navy requirements that are kind of complicated there. Devin Makhi from Purdue. Roydell Williams, the former Bama player at FSU. Anthony Hankerson. Angel Johnson. Devon Booth. These are called later name guys who, like, I don't know if they're going to end up getting drafted, frankly. Cash Jones is an elite name. I wanted to name my son Cash. My wife told me no. 5'10", 5'8", 183. But he was pretty good last year in a smaller, like, rotational role for Georgia.